Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Here for week 5 or whatever it is. We just heard that in the drivers' meeting from the next room over. Here in the Liberty Racing League, hell of a combo here tonight. We're going to be hauling some ass. Mazda Miatas at Homestead Miami Speedway for 100 laps. This is going to be an absolute banger. This is going to be a fun race to watch here. Appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight, doing double duty here tonight on VidaneTV, as we've got the Oil Boys iLate Model Championship wrapping up over on the YouTube page. Give it a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching some iRacing action here on a Tuesday night, and we are running the Liberty Racing League here as well. And this, once again, going to be a whole lot of fun. We were just here last week with these drivers, and they put on a hell of a show. They go through lots of different racing tracks, different cars, different combos, and they are able to really show just how much this iRacing deal does. Take a quick look at the starting lineup. 30 plus cars here this evening at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Kevin West on the pole. Cody Neagles there in the 6 car on the outside of row number 1. Wes Hogue and Jason Foskey going to be row number 2. The Miller Genuine Draft number 3 car. How about that? The Merkman, Jeff Merck. The 60 car going to roll off P5. How about Brian Bliss? Red Ninja Turtle helmet for the 8 car. One of the Vidane Racing originals joining the field here. Gonna see what he can do with these deals here. Add Don Ashton from Canada in the 7th position. There's David Roseblum rolling off P8. As we go through the starting lineup, you'll be able to see kind of a who's who here in the Liberty Racing League. A lot of super speedway races here, trucks, a lot of Xfinity cars, Cup cars. Here you see Mazdas this evening. A lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff to really check out, and you can see a lot of these races from the past couple of seasons over on the VidaneTV YouTube page. Do a quick subscribe there. Do a quick search in that live tab, and it'll show you that we've got 650 plus live shows over on the VidaneTV. Get us up on all of the social media outlets as well. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch. Heck, I think we even have a Kick account that we didn't actually finish setting up. So be sure to let your friends and family know. Watch some iRacing action here on a Tuesday night. Things kind of winding down for the winter months here with the iRacing stuff as the lights are on still on the pace car. Row 12, 13. I think that's row 13. Jerry Bolliard rolling off P23. There's Bob Leclerc there, P24. And just kind of watching the last half hour of practice, these guys put on one heck of a show. We had a group of cars. It was 12, maybe 15 cars, just kind of battling it out, doing a little beating and banging with the last 5-10 minutes or so of practice. You could really, really, really abuse this car. Hey, how about that? We're going to go back a page for just a quick second. We never go back on the grid, but I really like that number 16 paint scheme. That's a good looking car there rolling off P28. I'm just saying. Robert Thorne's got a great looking car there. And there you can see we are up over 30 cars here this evening, and the lights are off on top of the iRacing pace car. There's the Andrew Schroeder. Going to roll off P31 in the Jets car. We'll see how he does in that Jets car. He'd probably do a little bit better if it was a Buffalo car, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. Pace car taking that hard left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road, letting Barney know up in the flag stand it is time to go. Green, green, green here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Liberty Racing League week number 5 is underway. And once again, showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. in the broadcast booth this evening. And thank you so much for joining us here. We're live on Facebook and Twitch for this race, the Liberty Racing League 100 here at Homestead. Mazda Miata is ripping on down through turns 1 and 2 and thundering down the back straightaway. Over on the YouTube channel, we've also got the Oil Boys iLate Model Championship. Those guys have been running for 11 weeks. A lot of racers from up in the New England area, and they're going to be wrapping up their championship here momentarily. And we are getting one race closer to the Liberty Racing League Championship belt here this year as well. And I've seen the belt over the past couple of years, both in person and in pictures. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning, and it is a piece of material that you definitely want to have up on the mantle for sure. Just taking a quick look here, once again, over 30 cars showing up here this evening to do a little beating and banging in these Mazda Miatas here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Kevin West up front from the pole, still holding on to it, and you can see we're already we're on lap 2, folks. We got these things all the way up through, I believe they've got 6 gears, if I remember hearing correctly, in practice session, and a lot of guys have noticed they drive just a little bit different. Had a big update with the iRacing service in the past couple of days, and from what I understood from the drivers, the fifth gear was just a little bit taller, but it wasn't quite tall enough to need that sixth gear. The beauty of that, though, is everybody's running the same thing. You can see a quick time there from Andrew Schroeder. He started shotgun on the field. He ran a 40.7 that last time by, and I got a feeling once some of the fuel burns off in these Miatas, those lap times going to be picking up throughout the night here, working lap number 3. A good shot of the 0-1 car. Kevin West dropping on back to third. Cody Eagles holding on to the lead. Now Kevin West in second. Hogue in third. Robert DuPont the second. P5 as they run, and you can see it is a madhouse from about 10th place on back. 2x2 for the front 5 or 6 rows. Then they start to get 3 and 4 wide. You don't normally see that here at Homestead this early on, but these Miatas are so small that these guys don't take up a bunch of room on the track, so they're able to kind of get 3, 4, sometimes even 5 wide, and I think we'll see that later on in the race as these guys try to beat and bang their way up towards the front. Heard a lot of drivers not necessarily, a little bit sideways up top, holds on to it. We stay clean, we stay green, but there you see West Hogue getting down, gets the apron just a little bit, but he moves himself back into the top 5. You can already see there's a couple of different lines throughout the field. Second and third lines starting to come in relatively early here. One of the things we heard these drivers say during their practice session, the final happy hour, before we took that green flag, even before we took the qualifying laps, to find out where we were starting here as Jeff Merck loses the lead briefly. Kevin West takes it back over, and you can see still 2x2 throughout the field, 3 wide there for that third row back. And it's neat to see with these Miatas, they've got the headlights here in the iRacing service. So if the lights go out in the virtual iRacing world here at Homestead, Miami, we'll still be able to have ourselves a little bit of a show. There you can see a couple of drivers drifting on up, trying to kind of get themselves hooked up, looking for who they drafted with, who they practiced with throughout the week and here in the final happy hour. Just trying to get hooked up to the back bumper. We heard a lot of these guys kind of talk about, we ride on board with the trailer park dude in the 0-1 car up in the front, doing everything he can to try and hold on to the lead. He is streaming over on Twitch. I believe he streams on TikTok as well. I don't know if he does the races live, but he's definitely got a lot of sim racing content. If you haven't gone over to the old TikTok and punched in trailer park dude, what the heck are you doing? You need to. Lots of entertainment over there. Good friend of ours here at VidaneTV as well. Kevin West holding on to a solid top 5 run as we get into it. And you can see these guys beating and banging throughout the field. These cars, they're very slow. They're a little bit slower than, a little bit wrecking sideways further back. Did we get it collected? Looks like the field was able to miss most of it, but the caution flag is going to fly. See if we can't take a peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Probably not, because I forgot my button box. We're on the road as we usually are during the race season, but we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll see if we can back it up. We got a little bit of time, right? And there you see there was a car up in the outside wall here on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. As the Miller Genuine Draft ride up into the outside wall. I don't believe that's what the caution flag was for, but in any sense, we'll rejoin the top of the field and see where everybody's running as they catch up with the pace car. I think it took about an extra lap or so. The pace car finally out on the back straightaway, collecting the field. Didn't have too crazy of a wreck there. One car incident, it looked like, up into the racing groove, spun on around, pointed in the wrong direction. Gives these drivers an opportunity to potentially come down pit road. And you can see everybody kind of lining up under that yellow and white lines. There's a bunch of drivers going to come down pit road. One of the things we learned during final practice was it was tough to find where that commitment line actually was for pit road. You used to be able to enter off of turn 4 here at Homestead Miami Speedway, but I do believe the iRacing service has it hooked up on the back straightaway. So a lot of these drivers they haven't come down pit road under green flag conditions, so they haven't technically been able to practice that theory out yet. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to try and come down pit road and under caution if they need to, just to make sure they top that thing off with the Sunoco race fuel. Maybe get some tires. Two tires will help out here. Love this onboard shot with the 01 car of the trailer park dude, Kevin West. He's going to come down, have the pole, has that number one pit stall at the very end of pit road. You can see he's sitting there waiting, getting some service. Hogue and everybody in behind him. That's teammates 1, 2, 3. How about that? They all roll off together. And that's going to be a little contact there for second and third. Cody Eagles, Wes Hogue saying hello. Get a little fist bump action with the front bumper of the race car. No harm, no foul. It seems like Kevin West still up front. Cody Needles in second. Wes Hogue, P3. Robert Duvall, the second, going to roll off of pit road, P4. Scott Thompson, very quick in practice in that 75 car, P5. Luke Underwood, Adam Kowalski, Robert Merck-Ray, Matt Yost, and Jeremy James going to round out the top 10 as they come off pit road. Brian Bliss, one of the Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series originals. He is in that 8 car just outside the top 10. He's pretty quick in these Miatas. P11 right now. Brian Booth in a 69. Nice. He is P12. The 13th position belongs to Kyle V. Robin Stevens in behind. Rick Seaburns is there as well. David Rosenblum, P16. 17th going to be Michael Ziegler. Taylor Lasowski back in P18. 19th going to be the Batman, Mark Mann. And Andrew Schrader III going to roll off of pit road, P20. Just taking a look at timing and scoring. Looks like everybody's still on the lead lap as we get down to the bottom of it. Indeed, they are. So 31 cars made the call. 31 cars still on the lead lap here at the Virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. And there you see it. Lights off on the top of the pace car. Everybody in behind lining up 2 by 2 all the way through. We are getting ready to go green flag racing once again here at the Virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Got to thanks everybody for tuning in here this evening, live all over the internet. And we've got 2 races going on simultaneously here on VidaneTV. If you told me 5-6 years ago when me and the rowdy one, Wesley Hogue, started this deal, I never would have thought we'd have had the VidaneTV, the Ocho. But here we are, Liberty Racing League, week number 5 here on Facebook and Twitch. And if you shoot on over to the YouTube page, give it a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff, you'll see the Oil Boys IL8 Model National Series wrapping up their season. 11 races going to be in the books after that one as they crown themselves a champion. Just crowned a Triple Crown champion over in that series on Tuesday nights as well. But here at the Liberty Racing League, pace car going to dip down to the safety of pit road one more again. And we're going to look up to the flag stand. Barney letting them know it's time to go. Green flag one more time. Scott Thompson gets a great restart. He's able to move on up to the outside, make sure they don't get any kind of run or anything like that. And you can see he's going to jump back down to the bottom side of the speedway. So with these Miatas being as slow as they are, draft is going to be a big thing here. It's almost like running a cup car or maybe a Craftsman's Truck Series truck at Daytona Talladega, because these guys are really up front. They're punching a hole in the air, and everybody else is kind of able to tuck on in. They're able to save a little bit of fuel and get themselves moving just a little bit quicker up towards the front of the field. And you can see these things are a absolute handful to try and hold on to here. But man, yeah, there you see it. Kevin West just making easy work of it. Oh, as we say that, West down to the inside. That's going to bring up the caution flag for the second time. Or is it? Only one car spin. There it is. Caution flag going to fly for Kevin West, the 0-1. And we'll back that up on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Might have had a little bit of help in that 0-1 car. And there you see, focus on it. And we talked to a lot of these drivers before the race. You really have to make sure when you bump draft in these Miatas that the front bumper of the rear car lines up perfectly square. There was a right out of turn number 4. There you see it. Just sends them on in. Big hit in that inside safer barrier. You can see some of the panels coming on off there. He's going to have to take that car over to Rowdy's Dipping and get that thing redipped, redipped, rewrapped, and get that taken care of. I actually just found out today, Rowdy's Dipping, they repair bullet holes. How cool is that? If they can repair bullet holes, I'm sure they can take care of one of these Miatas for sure. Definitely check out Rowdy's Dipping in Jacksonville, Florida, as they'll be able to hook you up as well. So the pace car going to come out, recollect the field, and we talked about it. Pit stop's going to be on high demand under these cautions. Usually you'll see a lot of guys kind of wait and feel it out, maybe wait until about halfway to make sure that they can make it on one stop. But with the couple of updates that the iRacing service had and everything else that's been going on here at the Homestead Miami, or the Virtual Homestead Miami Speedway, rather, it's tough to see where the actual commitment line is. So that was one of the unknowns of a lot of these drivers getting in to the start of this one. So you'll probably see a lot of these drivers start to come down and get a little bit of Sunoco race fuel pumped into the back of these cars and get 2 tires, 4 tires, try and figure it out, see where they want to get themselves in position. Right now, the pace car driver has those lights turned off. So we're going to be coming to green here. 88 laps to go, going to be 87 once we take that green flag. Just enough time to shoot on over to Vidane.tv/DoorDash. That'll get you hooked up, get a new account hooked up over on the DoorDash.com website. Do it through VidaneTV because we'll be able to hook you up. Save $8 off your first 4 orders. www.vidane.tv/DoorDash. Order it now. It'll probably be at your house, your front door, hot and ready to go as we visit the DoorDash victory lane once we crown ourselves a race winner after the checkered flag. There goes pace car driver. He's going to go get himself some DoorDash. Vidane.tv/DoorDash. Everybody else lined up 2 by 2. Well, they're going to have to wait. Barney in the flag stand letting them know it's time to go. Wes Hogue going to take the jump down to the bottom side. He's able to pull out by about a car length, maybe 2, heading on down into turn number 1. And there you can see the triple threat in behind. The top 4 kind of pulling away, 4th and 5th side by side. But there are 5 or 6 gears that these Miatas have. So it's going to take a little bit of time for these guys to get up to speed and start racing it out, as it were. 2 quick cautions here in the first 10 laps. 87 laps to go. You can see right there. Big push from DuPont to the back of Niegels. Niegels holding on to the lead, but there you can see that 126 going up around the outside. Has a couple more Miatas up in the top trying to get a little bit of drafting help. You can see there's a lot of cars still, though, down on the bottom side of the racetrack. As slow as these cars are compared to what we're normally used to seeing here at Homestead with the trucks or the cars or the Xfinity or Cup or anything like that, drafting is key. Really need to make sure that you're holding that wheel straight down the straightaways. You don't want to scrub off any speed with those front tires, and you definitely want to make sure you get a good clean bump on the back bumper of the guy up in front of you. We saw Kevin West in the 0-1 car pulling it in the wrong direction relatively quickly coming out of turn 4 under that last caution flag. You really need to make sure that the bumps are clean and they're square, and you can see you can do that just about all the way around the racetrack and anywhere on the racetrack, as long as everything lines up correctly. Here you see a handful of drivers going up top, about 4 wide back there for just outside the top 10. It looks like about 3 wide for second. These guys really racking off some good lap times with a 40.614 for Bob Leclerc in that 42 car. He was quick in practice as well. I believe it was up in the top 5 as far as lap times went. And there's a great shot down the back straightaway. These drivers just really able to let it sing down the back straightaway. 4 wide as they get into 3 and 4. 3 wide for at least 4 rows. This is what it's all about. See that top side starting to pick up steam. 6 cars, bumper to bumper to bumper, lined up. They've got the most cars, it looks like, closest together. That middle group is struggling just a little bit. They've got less cars. They aren't quite bumper to bumper. They might get a little bit of help. That third car down to the bottom side, drifting up just a little bit, trying to take a peek. Nope, but West goes up there in the 38 car. He's going to use that sucker hole in the middle and the couple of drivers in the back to try and take over the lead. But how about that push down on the bottom? Robert DuPont says, no, sir. Going to hold on to the lead. There you saw the second place car there in the second side. I believe that was Niegels in the 6th car. He had to check up. Getting into turn number 3, he had a real good run up to the back bumper. Oh, a little bit sideways there. There was a car there, but they got it all sorted out. We stay clean and green here with 84 laps to go, crossing the stripe that time by. Love watching these Miatas here. They just raced at Martinsville in real life this past summer. It was cool to watch the stream of that. Unfortunately, I didn't make it down there in person myself as I'd like to have, but very cool to see that. I'm pretty sure they got that idea from iRacing. So it's cool to be able to see that gap bridge from sim racing to real racing here as we cross the stripe. Going to be 82 laps to go. A little contact up there, a little door slamming, door checking, as it were, for that top spot. 3 wide for the lead. How about that? With 82 laps to go here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. There's a little 4 wide action. Further on back, a little on board with that 126, Robert Duvall, the second. I love this camera shot. There you see there's a good shot of West. Oh, they're beating and banging and sliding up in front of them. gather it back up. We stay clean, we stay green, but it shows you just how finicky these Mazdas can be at pretty much any track, especially here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Wes holding on to the lead in that middle group. Nope, just kidding. He's going to drop back just a bit. We'll see how much of a run he gets in that middle groove. You can see the high line gets even more of a run depending on the push. And it was 3 wide for 4 lanes back as these drivers are doing everything they can to try and get themselves a win. How about a little sideways action? That is going to bring out the caution flag for the 3rd time here tonight. That is the 18 car of Kyle V spinning like a top. It looks like he collected a handful of drivers as well. There's the Batman Mark Mann down in the apron, down in the grass. He's throwing the clippings all over the apron down there. That is no good. Barb's going to get mad at that for sure. But we'll back it up on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Take a quick little look-see at it, and you saw there's 3 wide action, 4 rows deep, and 2x2 in through behind all of that, and that just looked like a couple of cars going for the same piece of real estate at the same time. And unfortunately, when you're trying to avoid a calamity like that, not a lot of places to go when you're 3 and 4 wide. It doesn't matter what track you're at. So the 18 car there, you can see he's going to go down pit road and see if he can't get some of that damage taken care of. Big time damage on the front. You can see he's almost dog walking. That right front tire appears to be off the ground. So does have a quick repair. He should be able to come down and hit the old reset button, get himself a quick car. The purple and black car are going to come down pit road as well, get some service to that machine. And I would be willing to bet that 18 car more than likely going to take a quick repair here. We'll ride with him, see what he does as he comes down pit road. Rather empty here with 20 laps into this one, 80 laps to go. And the 18 just kind of waving at all the pit crews down there. He's going to come down to his crew. Pull on in, stop at the line. There you see it. Quick repair for the 18 car. Going to get back out. So everybody in the field, they've got the one quick repair they're able to use at any time throughout the race. A lot of times, though, you'll see these drivers kind of wait to use that quick repair. Here comes everybody else down pit road. So the 18, on top of everything else, may very well be facing a black flag penalty for coming down a closed pit road. But everybody else coming on down pit road, smaller fuel tanks in these Miatas. Got to make sure that thing is jammed packed full of the gasoline. And you can see that first pit stall is empty. The 01 car of Kevin West having some issues earlier on in this one. Looks like he may very well have retired that 01 car. So we'll be checking out the stream here. Nope, there he is. A little bit further on in the back. So the 01 car going to come and get some service. There you can see everybody racing off of pit road. Joe Thompson in the 29 car. He actually stayed out in that 29 car. Just kidding. Came back in. Timing and scoring, doing timing and scoring things. So we'll let that cycle on through, let these drivers cross the start-finish line and find out exactly where your favorite driver is running. About that Tomater number 6 car, I believe that's going to be the leader with Cody Neagles. Everybody falling in behind him. And as it appears, Bob Leclerc in the 42 car are going to be P2. 2 tires on that 42 car. It looks like everybody else taking 4 and fuel. Wes Hogue going to roll off pit road P3. The Merckman, Jeff Merck, going to roll off P4. And Taylor Lasowski rolling off P5. And last time I checked, Taylor was way on back there. Not a good qualifying effort for Lasowski, but he's running into P5 right now. And if it were to rain, if we were to call this race now, that's a good spot to finish in. I mean, realistically, it's a good spot to finish in any sense. But you still have 80 laps to go, 78 to be exact, to make sure you get everything up front, everything ready to rip, everything ready to rock and roll. Lights are going to turn off on the pace car. That black and purple car going to drive on around and get the free pass, rejoin the lead lap here. And just taking a look, it appears there's still 26, now 27 cars on the lead lap. And what that tells me at a short track, there's still 27 drivers that could potentially win this race. So there you can see 2x2 all the way through. Coming to green this time by pace car is going to get dip off to the safety of pit road. Probably make sure that DoorDash order is correct. You can actually pull up the DoorDash on your phone and see the little map to find out where your driver's at. So that's always kind of cool. It's neat. It's like a reward It's almost like playing Grand Theft Auto and watching the little map delivery thing. I digress. Lights off on the pace car once again, and we are getting ready to rip ski here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. in the production trailer this evening, pushing all the buttons and yelling at all of the race cars and the drivers and everything else that'll listen to me here. Pace car going to dip into the safety of pit road, grab that DoorDash order, and there you see it. Barney in the flag stand letting them know it's time to go once again. Green flag for the field. Hogue going to drop on back to second, or is he on the restart? Little crossover action as the 6-car Kegels went from the bottom side up on the top side. West went down to the bottom side. He is on that white line, trying to hold on to it as they get up through the gears. You saw the 60 with a big push on the outside. A couple of drivers moving up to that middle groove. A handful of drivers trying to jump up to the high side, but I think it's still early yet for that high side to really come in as strong as these drivers would like it to be. And you still have to do a little bit of homework between now and then as well. You got to find out just how quick you can get up to the back bumper of somebody, what it's going to take to try and get around them, how many cars on the high side might make it quicker down on the bottom. There you see a massive push from that Under Armour black and yellow ride up on the top side. Top two, Niegels and Merck. They got themselves pulled away by about a car length. But there you can see Lasowski in the 11 car. He wants to get up there, lead some laps in the 11, down on the bottom side, doing everything he can to try and get around that pair on the high side. Wes Hogan, the 38, down the bottom side. Oh, a little slideways action there for the 11. Gathers it back up. We stay clean. We stay green. Hogue, his teammate, now right up to the back bumper of that number 11 Miata. He's going to try and push down on the bottom side as we ride on board with Niegels in the 6. Holding the pretty wheel. Little bit squirrely coming off of turn number 4, but we've seen that happen throughout the field, throughout the evening. As there you see, just an awesome awesome look at all those headlights coming down the front straightaway. Thunder gone down into turn number 1. Always cool to see that these Miatas pretty much anywhere. Again, we saw them earlier on this year, or last year rather. It's 2026 already. But we saw them last year at Martinsville Speedway, and it's neat to see and listen to all of the different rumors that come out with these Miatas and really racing, short track racing as a whole. All the different tracks that these guys could potentially race at and all the different combos. I remember seeing a news article a couple of months back about Legends cars with the NX series running at the Charlotte Roval. And sure enough, there they were. But that's going to bring out a caution flag, a little wrecking action up in the top side here with 75 laps to go. Or is it? There it is, caution flag. Oh, trouble up a little bit further in the field as well. Car up into the outside wall. Might be the 8 car of Brian Bliss. Indeed it was. He's going to come down, call the tow truck. See if we can back that up, take a quick peek here at the YRD instant replay. It almost felt like that car broke after the car. No, he was involved in that one. Let me back that up just a little bit. There you'd be able to see it here. Focus in on that 8 car. He's going to come in, a little bit of contact there. And there you see the 8 car just trying to get that thing to turn after the contact. You can see missing the front bumper cover, and it just didn't want to turn, just right up into the outside safer barrier. Unfortunately, with these safer barriers, yes, they protect a lot. But unfortunately, if you get any kind of virtual sheet metal or real sheet metal, pardon me, up there, it's going to be tough to get that thing to come off the wall. A lot of times you'll see these drivers make that hard left-hand turn to try and peel the car off of the wall and unfortunately spin themselves on around. So under caution once again, these guys going to give themselves and their crews an opportunity to come back down pit road, pack these things full of the race fuel, and give everybody an opportunity to take 2 or 4 tires. I believe everybody took 4 tires last time by, except for the 42 of Bob Leclerc. According to the box time, it looks like he stayed with a 2-tire strategy there. And you can see as these guys come through the access road through 3 and 4, there are a handful of drivers that stayed out, trying to gain a little track position here. But there are, in fact, a lot of drivers that are coming down pit road. Looks like we got about half the field that came down pit road. So that's going to jumble up the running order by quite a bit. We'll see what timing and scoring tells us after these pit stalls here. And it looks like that 8 car, Brian Bliss, unfortunately has retired from the event. Race off pit road once again. Looks like Lasowski going to be the quickest pit stopper. There's the Merc Man with the Under Armour Mazda. Notre Dame on the back of that. Good looking race car there. Back up front, though, 29 laps in. Behind the pace car is going to be the leader. How about it for Robert McRae? First time up in the top 10 all evening. Rick Sebren's in behind him with the P4 car. Joseph Fogg, Taylor Lasowski, Wes Hogue, Jeff Merck going to be the top 6. Cody Neagles, Robert DuPont, Alec Karen, and Luke Underwood going to be the top 10 as they run. So once again, we are live all over the internet, trying to take over the world here at VidaneTV. We're on Facebook and Twitch for the Liberty Racing League, week number 5 here with the Miatas at Homestead Miami Speedway. And we are, in fact, still live over on the YouTube page as we've got the Oil Boys iLate Model National Series Championship wrapping up. Patrick Byrne, the Bizman, Bizzle, over there calling the action and producing and pushing all the buttons, yelling in the microphone. And over here on VidaneTV, the Ocho covering the Liberty Racing League race number 5 here for the season. You can see the lights are out in the iRacing pace car. We're lined up 2 by 2 all the way through, and we are getting ready to rock and roll once again. Going to be Robert McRae up in the lead here. Top 3 did not come down. McRae, Sebrens, and Fogg. Taylor Lasowski in the 11 car. Going to be the first driver that came down pit road, and it looks like there were a lot of fuel-only pit stops here. So starting to wonder if tires are really falling off as much as the drivers expected during the practice session. Laya, driver of the pace car, he's going to go down to safety at pit road, grab that DoorDash order. Sure they drop that off at some point. Green flag from Barney in the flag stand, letting them know once again it's time to go. Just listening to these Mazdas scream on into turn number 1 as they come up through the gears. You can see as some of the drivers are able to get through the gears just a little bit quicker, and they kind of jump up on the high side because they've got a bit of a run, bit of maneuverability up on that high side. But it's a long way around. It's a longer way around, rather, I should say, on that high side. So, and with these Miatas, just smaller motor. They're not able to really make the horsepower of anything in the top 3 NASCAR divisions. So when you're up in that high side, you got to make sure that you've got some drafting help. And you can see there's 3 cars now on that extreme high side. They're still not able to make up too much ground. Oh, car down on the apron on the front straightaway, going to lose a handful of spots. That's the 4 car of Sebrens. Didn't hit anything, but it looks like it was just getting a little bit too squirrely for him up front, and I can see that because we're 3-4 wide going into turn number 3. Wes Hogue going to slide up the middle and see if he can't take that P3 position, potentially hold on to it. Jeff Merck up front holding on to the lead, and Hogue moving all the way up to that extreme high side. You can see there's a couple of cars up there. Oh, contact for second, third, handful of cars pointed in the wrong direction. Still wrecking. There's Lasowski up into the outside wall in the 11. Caution flag going to fly with 69 laps to go. That's not too nice. Unfortunate event for a handful of drivers here in these Miatas, and just being as small and as delicate as they are in real life, that, well, it's just like that here in the iRacing world. You'll be able to see the incident here. There you can see they slammed doors just a bit, and unfortunately they collected the high side there, and bam, up into the outside wall. Some pieces and parts flying all throughout the racetrack. Going to bring out the caution flag. There's the 11 of Lasowski trying to limp it back on around. See if he can't pick that thing back up, and doesn't want to test the tow truck, because a lot of times you'll get that tow truck, it'll take a few minutes before you're able to get down pit road. So he's going to try and limp that thing around himself, get it to his virtual pit crew, and potentially take that quick reset. You can see pit road still closed there on the right side of your screen. So going to lose a bit, well, going to lose another lap, I would assume. At the very least, going to have to start on the tail end of the lead lap. There you see he's going to pull into his pit stop. Another driver down there involved in the wreck, jacking up the left-hand side of the car, making sure that is all good to go. There you see the pace car and the field coming by. Pit road's still closed You can see the lights. Oh, maybe not. There you see. Handful of drivers going to come down pit road at the entrance, but it looks like everybody else going to stay out here as they did, in fact, just come down about 4 or 5 laps ago under that last caution. Lots of races over on the VidaneTV YouTube page. We got a lot of stuff over on the Facebook page as well. Unfortunately, with Facebook changing their terms of service, we don't have as many of the videos on demand over on the Facebook page. But luckily, YouTube holds on to all of that. 675 or so live streams. You'll be able to check out all the racing action from way back when we started this deal, going on 5.5, almost 6 years ago. Crazy to think. And as the iRacing season starts to kind of wind down, I'm hoping we start to get some warm air throughout the country and we can get the real racing season kicked off. I know down in Florida it's kicking off. It's already kicked off as myself, I'll be at Alltech Speedway starting tomorrow. Be able to check out all the action pay-per-view, some dirt track racing from Alltech Speedway and Dirt Track Digest. Some NX racing, some Legends racing, all sorts of cool stuff going on down in the a little bit warmer states. Green flag going to fly once again. Slicing and dicing, changing lanes after that start-finish line and just trying to get hooked up with their teammates, their buddies, whoever, maybe somebody they practice drafting with under the last caution or under the last green flag run there. But Hogue still holding on to the lead in that 38 car. Jason Foskey, first time talking about that 3 car all evening long. He is right on that back bumper. Mark McRae up there. Cody Neagles in the 6 car back up in the top 5. Luke Underwood there rounding out the top 5. Kolowski in the 45 car up in the mix as well. So as the race gets further and further on into this one, and we take a couple more pit stops, driving and racing around this place is one thing. You make up a lot of time and you can lose a lot of time out on the racetrack. But if you have a poor pit stop, or if you miss your box and you have to back up, or maybe you get a pit road penalty, that is going to be detrimental because these Mazdas are so slow compared to the NASCAR cars that we see usually here at Homestead Miami Speedway. A, it's hard to pass, and B, it's hard to block. It's hard to get around folks here with these Mazda. You can see the 38 car still holding on to the lead down on the bottom side. Looks like he's got a challenge up on the top, though, from Neagles, and the 6 car has a bit of help. Oh, and car into the outside wall. Believe that may have been the 13 of Don Smith. As we stay green, potentially. 34 car off the pace just a bit. There you can see them. That is Jeff Merck in the 60. He's been quick all night long in the top 5. The 60 car missing some sheet metal. He's trying to grab a gear, it looks like. You can see he's backing up, throwing sparks down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Hopefully he can get the tow truck out there and get that taken. There he goes. He's going to call for the tow truck and let this race stay green here with 64 laps to go. Hogue still down on the bottom side, doing everything he can to try and hold on to it. Has himself a couple of wins so far this season. Little dip down under the white line there. And that is a lot tougher to hold on to than it looks with that banking change. But we mentioned Hogue has himself a couple of wins, still chasing the first championship belt that has eluded him for the longest time throughout the Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series. We did the belt there. He's been doing the belt here in the Liberty Racing League Series. And as a league owner, always cool to be able to kind of take that trophy, especially when it's a wrestling style championship belt. And just looking at the designs over the past couple of seasons, being able to keep up with that here this year, it's going to be pretty cool to crown ourselves a champion here in the Liberty Racing League. And one of the cool things is once you do get that win, you are indeed locked into the playoffs. So you've got yourself an opportunity to race for that championship belt. How about 4 wide for second here in Mazdas at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway? Just screaming on down into turn number 1. How about 5 wide? I don't think we've seen that yet tonight. They're definitely going to try it, it looks like. And Hogue is looking in his rearview mirror, just making sure all that calamity stays behind him. Likes looking at those headlights in the rearview mirror. You got to make sure these things don't have high beams. You don't want to blind anybody with those high beams. But man, great racing in these Miatas. We had this car combo twice last season, from what I understand. In the first race, not so good. But the second race was an absolute banger with the Mazdas at Homestead Miami Speedway. So the field wanting to make sure that this track and car combo made it to the schedule. Oh, contact there for third on back. Big door check, but it looks like everything is pointed in the right direction. We're going to stay clean and green for the time being, as they are still 4 wide back about the second half of the top 10. This is one of my favorite shots, coming down the back straightaway, being able to really just see all those headlights in the Miatas thundering on down. They can scream into turns 3 and 4. And the cool thing is, you really don't need to let up too much here. You're going to have to make sure that throttle got, oh, spinner, 10th place on back, going to collect a couple of drivers. And that right there is going to bring out the caution flag with 61 laps to go. Some sheet metal flying all over the place. There's Matt Yost in the 70 car involved in it. A couple of other drivers as well. We'll back that up, take a peek at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. And it's always cool when iRacing updates the damage models here. You can see the different pieces and sheet metal and all sorts of stuff that kind of flies off these things after the incidents. It's cool for us, not so much cool for the drivers. But there you see the contact, brought the 45 car down on the bottom side. Oh, big hit for those guys getting up into the safer barrier in the high side. Not what you want to see when you're trying to win yourself a race here. Race number 5 for the Liberty Racing League season. And there's still a handful of drivers out on track. Well, as I say that, and we come back to the live shot, they're going to come down pit road. And you see that access road, it throws a lot of the strategy out of the equation. Because a lot of times with these, I don't want to call it a super speedway, but with a Miata, this place is pretty much a super speedway, as they're underpowered compared to the trucks and the cup cars and everything like that. So really got to make sure you hit your marks throughout the race, and you want to make sure these pit stops are absolutely flawless. So everybody coming down pit road. A couple of drivers looks like stayed out, maybe the top 4 or so. We'll double check with timing and scoring here in a moment or two. And we made mention earlier on in the show here at VidaneTV. Well, we've been mentioning it over the past 5 or 6 years that we've been doing this whole iRacing deal. We like bridging the gap between real racing and sim racing. And we are doing that here in the month of February and all throughout the 2026 season, as down south in Florida, it's warm enough to race. It's warm enough to get out to the real racetrack. So you bet your bottom dollar that's exactly what this guy's doing. Going to Alltech Speedway tomorrow in Lake City, Florida, helping the Dirt Track Digest crew out with the production. Going to be running a camera. Check that out on pay-per-view. They've got the dirt mods. There is all sorts of action going on. I love me some dirt racing. Love watching it as a fan. Love watching it behind my own camera as well. So DirtTrackDigest.tv. Get them on Facebook. Get them up on the website. A little pay-per-view action this week. Next week, I'll be heading over to the other side of Florida, hanging out with the A-Hole Visual Club, as it were. Those guys teaming up with the Enix Group. Going to be doing some Legends car racing for Winter Nationals at Auburndale Speedway. And then the weekend after that, doing some figure 8 racing at Auburndale, and you'll be able to catch this guy at the Atlanta Cup race. There's lots of real racing stuff going on here in the month of February. Oh, and by the way, Daytona 500 right around the corner. Pretty cool time of the year. And there's also that big football game that's going on, but Buffalo's out of it. So this guy doesn't really have a dog in that fight. So once again, Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. in the broadcast booth for the Liberty Racing League race number 5. Miatas here at Homestead Miami Speedway, live with this race here on Twitch and on Facebook. Over on the YouTube page, we are live as well. But that's going to be the Oil Boys Late Model I National Series, wrapping up their championship race this evening. 11 races on their schedule. Great to work with those guys, and great to work with Liberty Racing League again. Got to do a race last week here, the 20th anniversary of Vidane Racing as a brand. Pretty cool. We had 40+ trucks show up, and that was fun. Very nostalgic. Had some Vidane Racing originals in the field as well. Green flag once again. Wes Hoke gets a restart that he needs. The 42 car, though, right there. He's going to tuck into the tire tracks of our leader and see what he can do here in the second half of this race, lap 44, as they get around this time. Just 5 or 6 laps shy of the halfway marker. 100 laps is a long way to go, 100 miles at Homestead Miami Speedway in these Miatas. They're a little bit slower, a little bit underpowered, and it does take these guys a long time to get down and around this racetrack. It takes them about a lap, maybe a lap and a half, to get up to full song here as well. And it looks like Hogue has got these things figured out. Holding on to the lead. Oh, big slide down to the bottom side of the track. Oh, another slide right up in front of them. That is going to bring out the caution flag again here, just shy of the halfway marker. Or is it? There it is. 56 laps to go. Caution flag going to fly for a little bit of calamity. That's a lot of calamity. There's a lot of tore up cars there. The Loves car has some big time damage. I believe that's going to be the number 30 car. I mean, quite frankly, who doesn't love Loves? Unfortunately, the Loves car has a lot of damage. It's going to be the 33 car. We'll back up the U.S. Racing Design Instant Replay. You can see just a sea of sheet metal throughout the field. And there's a couple of different incidences, it looks like, throughout this one. So we'll take a peek at it. And there you see just calamity. Drivers trying to get down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Hoods flying. Cars into the outside wall. There's going to be a lot of cars that may be parked down in the garage area. You can bet there's going to be a handful of cars as well that are going to be using that quick repair to try and get back out on the track. You can already see there's a handful of drivers that are calling for the tow truck to get them down on pit road, and that takes time. It usually takes 3 or 4 minutes for that tow truck, the virtual tow truck, to come down and around and hook that thing up and get it to pit road, and then you've got to sit there and wait for the crew to get that thing fixed and repaired. So gonna thin the herd out just a little bit after that one. Before pit stops, looks like there's maybe 19 or so drivers on the lead lap, and we just pitted about 4 or 5 laps ago under caution. So you see they're already trying to get double file behind that pace car. Still have a lap or two before we get that one to green. Hogue holding on to the lead. There you can see Bob Leclerc in the 42 car there in second. Luke Underwood, Alex Griffin, and Don Ashton, the top 5 as they run. But it's tough to say whether or not we'll get some drivers come down pit road to top these Miatas off. Might see some of the drivers towards the back come on down as we are getting close to that halfway point. 55 laps to go, 5 laps from halfway. See the rest of the field catching back up to the pace car. As these drivers up front, they're ready to rip. They've got all the fuel they need, I believe, at least for this round of pit stalls. They've got the tires underneath the things. They're trying to get lined up 2 by 2 to get ready to rip. Just looking at that pace car, looks like the light's still on. Nope, they're off. I guess it's time to update my LASIK. Starting to get a little bit blurry in my old age. So the lights are off of the iRacing pace car. Going to take that green flag with 53 laps to go. And there you see the field lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Wes Hogan, 38 car, holding on to the lead. He's led, I believe he's led the most laps so far this evening here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. There you see the 42 car, give it a little bumpski bump to the pace car driver, letting him know he's there. I don't know if the TC3 rule is in effect with the pace car. I don't think you can technically dump the pace car. I mean, we've seen it happen. Tony Stewart used to do it all the time. But here in the iRacing world, I'm not sure if you can do that. I think the iRacing pace car is just focused. I think we'll call it that. You're not going to be able to rattle his cage. 42's doing everything he can. I feel like he's got his cell phone maybe taped up to the dashboard there, watching our stream here at VidaneTV, our coverage at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway, because he's up there. He's just messing with that pace car driver. He says, forget this. He's going to go down to the safety of pit road and turn these drivers loose once again. 2 by 2 all the way through, waving at Marty in the flag stand. Green, green, green. Here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Beautiful restart there for the 38 car. So quick, I couldn't even remember how to spell beautiful. How hard is that? Top 3 start to pull away, just getting the 42 car just backed up a bit to grab a run, and a monster run he got. Able to pass those 2 cars down to the bottom side, as now he's got some help in the high side. Little blue and red car action going on. You can smash those cars together, and well, you can get purple. They're going to team up, get around Wesley Hogue in the 38 car. One car we're not seeing out in the field is the 11 of Taylor Lasowski. And, well, that's because he ran into some calamity, went and grabbed a cold beverage, and joined us here in the production trailer. Taylor, how we doing, brother?
A little sore, but, been better.
100%. What happened, man?
Just got caught in other people's junk. The 126 there, walked way up the track and caused mayhem.
And we talked a little bit about these cars here. We see they're still beating and banging throughout the top 10, throughout the entire field here. Still taking a look. There's 17 cars on the lead lap. We mentioned these things are a little bit slower than like the cup cars, the trucks. Are they significantly slower, or is it just something that we're just kind of seeing roughly?
Yeah, they're pretty slow. I think top speed's 125 to 130. But they drive super simple, which is why everybody causes havoc. Oh, we're getting together up here.
Beating and banging, door handling. There they go, spinning on around. I was going to say, that was about 3 wrecks that didn't finish up. And that one definitely did. Caution flag going to fly here at the halfway marker. Jared Bolliard, unfortunately, involved in that one. He's got one of those Vidane Racing Super Speedway belts we talked about. Just a couple of years back. I say a couple of years ago. It was probably 10, 15 years ago now at this point. We've been doing the sim racing bit for a long time.
Yeah,
so we'll
definitely
take a peek here at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. What'd you see, Taylor?
Kind of looks like the 6 and the 99 got to the 6, and then the 803 kind of just chain reaction there.
Backed it up just to give you a little bit of look at just how hard these guys are racing here at halfway, and business is going to pick up once we get a little bit further on back. But you can see up front, it's just kind of a chain reaction. There you see it, just getting a little bit of a bump. How about the save? Well, so much for that save for the tomato ride. Had it pointed in the right direction, and well, caught a quarter panel. Got sent on around into the infield, and going to give these guys an opportunity to kind of come down pit road and top off the fuel tanks. Some of the drivers are going to take that. Some drivers are not. A handful of guys just came down about 10 laps or so ago. And we talked about the fuel mileage here, and I remember talking to some of these drivers before the race, kind of talking about the commitment line coming into pit road. May very well have been on your team chatter, to be completely honest. Is that something that, we haven't really had to mess with it too much here because we haven't had any green flag pit stops. But where is that commitment line here for pit road? Do you have to enter on turn 4 do you have to enter on the backstretch down the access road, or can you enter right off of turn 4?
Yeah, you can enter straight off turn 4. We were kind of doing under yellow a gentleman's agreement to keep it a little bit fair, but under which we haven't had a green flag run yet. But if we did, it was going to be you could pit off 4.
Yeah, we may very well see some green flag pit stops in the second half of the race. Just kind of looking at timing and scoring as we see everybody racing off a pit road. We've lost a handful of drivers to incidents throughout the night, so kind of thinning the field out just a little bit. And in these Miatas here at the Liberty Racing League as well, the cream always rises to the top. So business about to pick up. I think it's about time to start burning that candle at both ends.
Yeah, the thing with these cars is they don't take much damage, so you get a meatball pretty quickly if you're getting hit. So it thins the herd pretty quickly here.
Indeed, it does, and all the drivers have that one quick repair, easy enough for me to say, that they're able to use at any point throughout the race. But you have to make it to pit road. A lot of times, if you're on the back straightaway and you get jammed up, you're not able to drive that thing back to the safety of pit road. You can call the tow truck, but it takes forever for them to get down there. Field's still a little bit spread out. The pace car driver says, we're going to let them rip. Green flag once again, 49, just kidding, 48 laps to go here in the Liberty Racing League. Race number 5 here at the Homestead Miami Speedway.
Yeah, the thing about these cars, too, is the pace speed is so fast at about 68, 70 miles an hour that you can't repair much damage under caution. So you're kind of screwed if you get a little bit of damage there, unless they tighten up here in the front.
Just like the late models that we see here on VidaneTV all the time, a lot of times with the short track racing, they don't have pit crews like the cup cars or the trucks or anything like that in the top 3 racing divisions in NASCAR. How about that run up the middle? Goodness. Holds on to it. The 42 car going to slide on up. I believe that's the Merc-Man in the 60 car, is it not?
Yeah, I believe so.
So Jeff Burke showing a little bit of muscle there in the middle line. He's going to get pushed up to the high side now. The 42 car right on his back bumper. This is where you're going to start to see some guys kind of experiment a little bit. We're seeing 3 wide throughout the entire field. These guys are going to try and hook up. They might have lost their teammate. They might have lost who they were drafting with in one of these incidences, one of these wrecks earlier on. You made mention these things really don't take too much damage before you have to park them. So now they're trying to work with folks that they maybe haven't drafted with too much before. And you can see they're trying to push on that high side and in the mid groove as Merck takes over the lead. He's going to slide over to that bottom side and draft in front of those 3 lines to see which line's going to be a little bit quicker. But as these guys beat and bang on each other, they're going to be working to try and figure out what they need to get up to the lead. You might have all the speed, but if there's not a hole there and there's not any kind of momentum, you're not going to be able to take that car up to the lead. It's like playing chess at about 120 so miles an hour.
Yeah, definitely. And the bottom line just kind of bogs down a lot, especially off turn 4. The cars want to pull to the inside, and you see that's caused a few wrecks, but you get down these straightaways, and the high line or the middle line is really what pulls away.
Yeah, a lot of times with these Miatas and really any car, you get down to the bottom side, they don't quite have the power, but if you get up top, you're really able to just keep it in the power band. May take that momentum in the middle groove and high groove, and if you need to, coming out of the corner, you can always kind of late apex and really drive that thing down the banking here at Homestead Miami Speedway, try and make up a little bit of ground. Oh, contact once again from the second place. Not sure what driver that was. I believe it was the 34 of Rosenbland and some friends. A couple of cars pointing in the wrong direction. Caution flag going to fly once again here with 45 laps to go. And we'll back that up on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Take a little look-see.
Yeah, it looked like Ron Stevens kind of got into Wes Hogue there and kind of pushed up into Schroeder, and Schroeder couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, and you can see everybody gets into turn 1 okay. There was a little bump there to the back bumper of Merck. No harm, no foul there. There you see Wes drift up just a little bit. And the rest is history. And that Love's car was tore up earlier. Took that quick repair, so that may very well be the end of the evening for him. And I mean, we asked the fans earlier, who doesn't love Loves? I mean, come on. So there's your current leader. Going to be the 17 car of Don Ashton. Might see him down pit road. It's been about 15 laps or so since he's been there.
Yeah, we got a fun fact here about Don Ashton. He's a little bit older. He lives in a nursing home, and he still loves playing his iRacing.
You know, I heard that last year, maybe the year before. Wes was telling me about him, so that's pretty cool. That's neat to see. Having himself a hell of a run here at Homestead as well. He came down pit road a couple of cautions ago, so he's trying to use that pit road strategy here. You can see he's waiting on the pace car. He is all the way out in front of that pace car, but they're starting to come back up. Jarrett Bolliard scored in second, Merck third, Hogue fourth, and Bob Leclerc. Easy enough for me to say. Not sure why my voice cracked there. I'm almost 40, but he's going to round out the top 5 as the pace car collects the field and gives these guys once again an opportunity to kind of storm down pit road, get tires, get fuel, get everything jam-packed. We know fuel's definitely a thing here with these Miatas. You've got smaller fuel tanks, and you just really need to make sure they're packed full of fuel. When you take tires, whether it's 2 tires or 4 tires, does it affect the handling with these Mazdas at all?
No, I didn't really feel any effect. You know, I went to lap 40 before I even changed tires, and I was still over 90% on him. So, you know, there's not real much effect there.
About 40 or so seconds a lap time. Just taking a peek. It looks like the quick time, maybe a 40.8, 40.7, right around in there. And it seems like there's a handful of drivers, maybe a half a dozen or so, that are underneath that 41-second marker. And I feel like if we end up getting a long green flag run, I think if we burn some fuel off of these Miatas or burn them out of it, they'll start to kind of lighten up in the back end of the car and might see some quicker lap times. But these guys really putting on a clinic. Getting a quickie yellow there. The pace car going to go down to the safety of pit road. Going to turn them loose once again. Marnie in the flag stand letting them know it's time to go. Green flag here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway.
Don Ashton up here leading the race, having the race of his life here. Getting pushed by Rowdy Hogue.
Indeed, he is. 38 all over the back bumper there of the 17. Jarrett Bolliard up in the mix as well. We saw him wrecked just a couple of laps ago, and that's that 97 car holding on to it. Going to show everybody why he's got that championship belt from a couple of racing seasons ago. And I keep saying that. That was probably 10 years ago, I think he won that belt from the Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series. And he has got himself a lot of laps here on the iRacing simulator, as does everybody in the field here. And you can see that the cream kind of rising to the top. 5, 6 cars, 7 cars, all under a blanket. Not sure why you would want to put that many cars under a blanket, but there they are. They are jam-packed up with each other, and a handful of guys kind of filling out the rest of the field, just kind of biding their time here a little bit. It's going to be 40 laps to go once they cross the stripe. Gonna have to come down pit road at least one more time, I think, maybe 2, to top off on Sunoco Race Fuel to make sure you can get it to the end of the race here. Merck gonna move into the lead in that 60 car. He's been kind of all over the place. He's been up and down throughout the field. Had a little bit of contact earlier on, and you can see he's gonna try and drift up and hook up with that high line. They wanted nothing of it. Looks like Merckman gonna get stuck in the middle line there, and he might get a little bit of help. Nope, that car's gonna go down to the bottom side.
Yeah, things are tightening up here, 3 by 3. Some people are trying to see how a run forms so they can use it later on in the race if they're able to get around somebody or push them past them and leave them out to dry.
And you'll see that a lot of times in super speedway racing here, when we get to about 30, 40 laps to go, really throughout the entire race, you'll see 2 or 3 trucks or cars hooked up bumper to bumper to bumper. They'll back up a bit. Like, they'll noticeably back up quite a bit and just see how long they can kind of take that draft and push each other, push and pull each other back up to the field and kind of use that run to slingshot on around a pack or on around the leaders. And a lot of times you'll see that under green, green flag conditions as we get closer and closer to that checkered flag. Coming up on a little bit of lap traffic, they're going to go down to the access road, let the field go on by. Jarrett Bollier taking over the lead. Jeff Merck there in second. Scott Thompson, I believe he was the quickest in practice in the 75. P3 right now. Don Ashton and Alex Giffen going to be the top 5 as they run.
You can really see some of the experienced cars up here that know how to form a run and kind of slowly push somebody even through the corner, and then you get a little bit of somebody with an inexperience or maybe a little timid, and they can't keep the run going. And here goes Rowdy Hogue, 3 wide through the middle. Look at the run he's getting. Does a beat and bang into turn 1.
And Taylor, you know as well as I do, there are a lot of words that can be used to describe Rowdy Wesley Hogue. Timid is not one of them.
That is true. He will not wait for anybody. He will make his own run. Oh, Don Ashton pulling to the apron here. Not sure what's going on.
It seems off the pace in a big way.
It might be coming to the internet to be shut off of the nursing home. We're not sure.
That's definitely a possibility. That's one of the things you just don't think about. I mean, a lot of times in real racing, you get electrical demons, and the car might not be behaving as well as it should. You get the same thing in sim racing. Merck getting a little bit loosey-goosey down, cutting the grass, gathers it back up. He's stuck on the apron, though, holding that thing about 90 degrees to the left side, gathers it back up. That could have been a whole lot worse.
What a save.
Merckman showing just a little bit of that experience here. The front 4 able to pull away. There goes Hogue up on the high side.
Kind of strung out the field a little bit there. See what happens here if they get back together and go around the lap car here.
Yeah, a little bit of a war of attrition. Whoa, big slide for the 42. I don't think there was contact there. But he's all by himself on that higher line. He's going to get freight trained, it looks like. Oh, Wes is going to drive on up. They're going to try and put something together. But, man, these guys are doing everything they can to try and get up and stay in that top 5 here with 36 laps to go.
Yeah, you see the field kind of coming back together. They got a little bit of a run there. And it's kind of the accordion effect. They string out and then they come back together. 3 wide here for the lead.
Thundering down the back straightaway into turns 3. Oh, contact! Hogue's around! Doesn't look like he hit anything. Caution flag going to fly. That is no bueno for the 38 car. Has at least a win so far this season. Still trying to chase down his first championship belt. We take a look at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. What'd you see?
Yeah, it kind of looks like the 42 of Bob LeClaire there. Kind of gave him a bad hit sideways and bounced. Kind of just turned it into a pinball there. He's lucky he didn't create more damage.
Yeah, and there you see it. Things happen quick in these Miatas, and we've talked about it. These things do not take as much damage as any other race car, really. So that's a little bit of a bump. I don't think that's going to tear him up too hard. I haven't seen the 38 car get in any other incidences throughout the evening, so he still does have that quick repair in his back pocket. Probably going to see him come down pit road, top that thing off with fuel as the rest of the field comes down as well. Nope, just kidding. They're staying out. Nope, here they come. I was on the wrong side of the racetrack. So 35 laps to go. We talked about tires. You don't really wear tires too much here. You made mention 40 laps and didn't really fall off the pace too much. How much of a fuel run are we able to get out of these Miatas?
Around 20 or so laps, give or take. You know, depends on, you can run fifth or sixth gear. So sixth gear kind of feels like it bogs you down, but you get a little bit run down the straightaway a little bit better, but probably save a little bit of fuel with the lower RPMs.
Looks like a couple of fuel-only stops throughout the field here, and that tells me exactly what happened at the Don Ashton machine. And the number 17 came down pit road to get some fuel under the last caution. He's going to be the first car, I believe, one lap down. So I believe he'll get the wave around here. We'll see what timing and scoring does. But as I looked over at timing and scoring, he was 22 laps into his run. So having to come down and fill that thing back up with the Sunoco race fuel.
Yeah, honestly, he might have been his savior there to keep him out of that wreck. He was right up there with those guys.
Definitely on pace for a top 5, and it looks like everybody, in fact, did come down pit road this time by, according to timing and scoring. Well, we're going to give timing and scoring a lap or two to get itself caught back up. You might even see some of these guys come down pit road and top off again. They are going to have to pit at least one more time, but in real racing, just like sim racing, you come down pit road, you pack that thing full of fuel as much as you can before the end of the race, because you want to spend less time on pit road when it counts towards the end of the race. So I think you're going to see a lot of these drivers come down, pack this thing full of fuel, and you're going to see a lot of drivers kind of riding the clutch, keeping it high gear, not burning too many RPMs, trying to save as much of that fuel as they possibly can. It was fuel only for that Coca-Cola car last time they came down pit road. Going to take right sides this time. So you might see that strategy as well. Might have been just a slow pit stop and said, you know what, we're going to go down, we're going to grab some tires, may as well pack some more fuel into this thing.
Yeah, you know, these cars, it takes so long to catch up to the field that you burn a lot of fuel, honestly, when you're catching the pace car. So, you know, that extra lap that you can get, you know, saves you a lot more than you really think it does, compared to maybe a cup car where you can kind of coast around and you catch the field pretty quickly as they're doubling up here, coming to take the green here.
I was just going to say, the lights are off in the iRacing pace car. There's still drivers down on pit road changing tires. So they've got to make that access road, get all the way back around this racetrack. Oh, by the way, that pace car, he's in turn 3 and 4. So these guys getting ready to go. We're 2x2 all the way through. Top 5 jumbled up just a little bit. Luke Underwood going to hold on to, or going to restart rather, in the lead. Michael Ziegler in the 05 car on his outside. Jeff Merck, Jason Foskey, and Andrew Schroeder going to round out the top 5 as the pace car driver going to make that hard left-hand turn.
As they come to the green here, it's going to be an interesting restart. Not that much of the field is here together, so we'll see if they accordion back together or not.
Green flag for that 21 car of Luke Underwood. He's got no competition up top yet. Everybody down on the bottom side, handful of cars trying to make it happen. Well, as I say that, everybody's going to go up to the high side. Jeff Merck in the 60 said he's going to lead the charge. He's got some help, and it looks like the rest of the field going to come on through. How about that Jets car? I was making fun of him for starting shotgun on the field. Figured he'd probably do a little bit better with a Buffalo paint scheme. He's up in P4.
There comes Jason Foskey to a lead here. Maybe try to get his bonus point. Let's see if he can get it.
Miller Genuine Draft number 3 car going to come and get himself a lap lead. Or is he? Ooh, yeah, there, he got it.
Did he get it? Yeah.
Just barely. That 60 car, though, on the outside, even with just that one car pushing him, very, very quick. You can see gets a big old shot from the Jets car, gets him down to the lead. Schroeder doing everything he can to try and hold on to it. Hogue says, I'm going to just kind of, pardon me, slip on through the middle, and he's got a massive run in that 38 car. He's just going to try and pass the field by himself. And he might.
He might. You know that he doesn't need anybody else. He'll do it all.
He'll tell you about it too.
You know he ain't gonna push. You got the 3 wide.
Yeah, a little 3-wide action for the lead for second place. These guys know we are running out of time. 30 laps to go this time, Bide. Side by side between the 6 and the 60 for the lead.
Yeah, the thing with that is if you're by yourself, the run may be there, but see with Wesley Hogue, it kind of dies off by itself.
Yeah, especially on the straightaways. These things handle very, very well in the corner, so they don't scrub off too much speed, especially on the middle and high grooves. But in these, the front and the back straightaway, man, really need to have some drafting help, even if it's just one other car. And you can see Hogue is just really able to grab that run, but not able to close the deal because he doesn't have anybody pushing him yet. Not seeing too many teammates of the 38 up in the top 10 right now. Well, you're up here in the booth with me, and you can see he's just doing everything he can. He's getting that side draft thing going on to try and get that thing up back into the top 5 and to the lead. But if he's going to do that, he's going to have to get around Merck and Foskey. Those guys are very, very quick in the 60 and the 6 up in the front.
Yeah, they work exceptionally well together on these super speedways that we run. So be interesting to see if that line forms anything or if he's just trying to bide his time here. But knowing Cole, he'll go high.
100%. You can see the field dwindling just a bit. 15 cars up in that main pack on the lead lap here in race number 5 of the season. Everybody trying to get themselves a win and lock themselves into the payoffs. Where's the 60 going? He's off the pace.
He got turned. Stowski hit him.
And you can see just without those great big cup motors, you lose a lot of momentum. Even if you burp the throttle just a bit, you can see that front pack got on around him. He's all the way back down to 9th place in that 30 car. Still 28 laps to go. Plenty of time to get back up to the front, but that's going to make it a little bit more of a hard-fought battle for that 60 car if he's going to try and get that checkered flag.
Yeah, let's see if he gets a run here. He's gonna get a big run back up there, but they're 3x3 up here for the lead, so I'm sure they'll bang together here pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Eagles back in that 6 car up in the high side. Hogue is right in behind him. How about Schroeder and the Jets ride in that middle groove? He's trying to make a little bit of magic happen. Oh, by the way, there's a 4th groove all the way up in there. I love Miatas. That right there, I'm speechless. I couldn't do that.
They're getting tight.
Man, oh man, Merck just doing everything he can on that extreme high side by himself. By the way, he's going to try and get around and get somebody to try and fall in behind him, give him a little bit of a push. But everybody in those bottom 3 grooves, they found it looks like they're drafting partners. And you can see just almost equal, almost identical when you've got 2 cars racing against 2 cars, racing against 2 other cars. But now that high line going to pick up a little bit of momentum as there's 2 or 3 more cars starting to push that in. And the way the draft works, the more cars you've got lined up, a bigger hole you're able to punch in the air, and everybody's just really able to pick up a little bit more steam. It's kind of like being on the interstate. You get in behind a semi truck, you get up there nice and close, and they start jamming on the brakes. You kind of use that sucker hole to save a little bit of gas and get a little bit of speed. And saving gas is going to be a massive thing here. We're already halfway through a fuel window, and within 5, maybe 6 laps, that's going to get us into that window with 20 laps to go.
I don't think anybody's out here saving fuel, Paul. I think they're going they can just to have fun here and to try to position themselves with 25 to go to get to the lead and to stay up front where there's usually a little bit less trouble.
Now, we've had a caution flag. We haven't had any green flag pit stops yet. These guys know they have to come down pit road at least one more time to get that thing full of fuel and make it to the end. And within 5 laps or so, we're going to be within that window as we've got ourselves a new leader. Yes. Trader takes the lead, loses it at the line, or just after the line. Hogue back up on the high side trying to make that magic happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anybody tries to peel off early and pit early and, maybe wait for the yellow. But I think they probably go a lot down with how slow these pit stops are in these cars. But, you never know. Sometimes a little strategy will win you a race.
Massive push once again for that third line, the 42 all over the back bumper of the 38.
Yeah, they're getting dicey up here, but 6 got a little bit loose there through 3.
Schroeder, Foskey, Niegels, Thompson, and Underwood, the top 5 as they run that time by 23 laps to go. One more pit stop here to before the end of the race, before the checkered flag, before we crown ourselves a winner here in week number 5. Got to thank everybody for tuning in once again here live. Oh, Schrader gets a little bit of one of those nasty bumps we've seen all night. Everybody else checks up a bit, able to hold on to the spot. There's a little bit of a cleaner bump there from Foskey in the 3.
There goes the highline. Man, Rowdy pushed that guy all the way to the lead, and he left him. So I don't, Cole, he'll file that in the memory bank.
Oh, 100%. I believe in the wrestling world they call that a receipt, and we'll see what happens there. That's usually when you get up and you hit somebody and send them on sideways. But a lot of times the drivers behind the wheel, if you let them, if you hang them out like that, especially at a drafting at a track where it's so important with the drafting and trying to get up with them, you'll see some feelings get hurt on that. But man, these guys just putting on a show here for us in these Miatas. 12 laps into the run, 22 laps to the checkered flag potentially. We've got a handful of opportunities to take that green, white, checkered at the end of this thing too. So you got to kind of keep that in the back of your mind with your fuel strategy. You don't want to come down pit road too early, and you really don't want to come down under green because, like you said, it's going to take a long time for these things to get fueled up.
Yeah, the fuel window's open probably from now to the end of the race, so we'll see. They should almost need, pretty solid full tank here. So it'll be interesting to see if they make it green. I think this might be the longest green flag run we've had all night. We got 15 cars, I believe, here on the lead lap, and it looks like they're all of them are nearly within 1 second, except the last few probably just taking it easy. But top 11 cars were within, top 12 were within 1 second last time by.
And you can hear these things just scream on down the front stretch and the back straightaway. Just that high-pitched scream as only a Mazda Miata can do. And contact! Hogue gets a little bit sideways, turns left, and it looks like Merck up into the outside wall. That's going to bring out a caution flag.
Man, again, Leclerc again with the bad bump down the straightaway into Hogue just turned him for 60 from the bad bump. It's unfortunate for the 60 car there. He was having a great run all night.
Yeah, take a peek at it once again on the U.S. Racing Designs instant replay. Massive run, and there you see, just not quite square getting into the corner. Doesn't look like, that front left wheel is pointed sideways, I think.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that was our longest green flag run of the night, I believe.
Yeah, but what this does, though, with 19 laps to go, that's going to take a lot of the strategy out of the pit sequence. Because with a 21 to 22 lap fuel window, with 19 laps to go, you can make it on that one tank. So I got a feeling everybody's going to come down pit road as the race car are going to gather everybody back up on the back straightaway.
We'll be interested to see who takes tires here or who just takes fuel only and fills it up and packs it full to the end.
So 19 laps to go here. You're going to get to restart with about 17 or so. Paul Strickland Jr., Taylor Lasowski up here in the production trailer here with Liberty Racing League. We're live on Facebook and Twitch. We're also live over on the YouTube. Patrick Burns wrapping up the Oil Boys Late Model National Series Championship over there. Those guys running at New Smyrna for 125 laps. Be able to catch the video on demand over on the YouTube page. Be sure to smash the subscribe button. Hit the likes, the subscribes, the shares, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching some iRacing action here on a Tuesday night and every night of the week that we run. And got some cool real racing stuff going on here in the next couple of weeks, really the whole month of February. Because I'll be on the road, going to be at Alltech Speedway starting tomorrow night doing some dirt track racing. Be able to check that out on pay-per-view, dirttrackdigest.tv. And then next week, heading on down to Auburndale, 3.5 hours west, I think, from here. Other side of Florida, going to be doing some Legends cars and some Bandolero racing. That's going to be over on it's going to be over on USLCI.tv, US Legends Cars International. It's going to be cool to hang out with that crew. And some figure eight racing from Auburndale coming up in 2 or 3 weeks' time. And man, then we hit the ground running with the real racing schedule. We're going to have a page up on the Vidane.tv website that's going to have all of our real racing stuff that we'll be a part of, helping out on the live video production, running cameras, doing all sorts of cool stuff. And who knows? You may very well be able to see some real racing, some real race cars right here on Vidane TV by the year's end. It's an exciting time here for us at Vidane TV, grown by leaps and bounds over the past 5 or 6 years. And man, the next 5 or 6 years are going to be crazy.
These are real race cars. What are you talking about?
That's right. This ain't a game, baby. It's a way of life. So should get the one to go next time by. Nope, just kidding. That time by. So the field's going to double it up 2 by 2. Maybe. They're going to call me a liar.
Should be one to go here. So I'm not interesting. Nobody's doubling up.
Yeah, feel very spread out here. What's left of it, 15 cars still there. You can see everybody just trying to get back up to the stop. Just looking at timing and scoring, the pit stops all seem like they're all good. So it looks like just everybody trying to catch back up to the pack here. You can see they're starting to line up 2 by 2 now. Foskey in the 3 car has the lead. He's going to take the bottom side there. Schroeder up top. Luke Underwood, Cody Eagles, Jarrett Bullier at the top 5. Hogue in 6th. After that pit stop, Scott Thompson in 7th. Mark Mann with a great recovery in that 04 car. He's up into the top 10. Michael Ziegler and Alex Giffen going to round out the top 10 as they run. Going to get the restart. 16 laps to go here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway.
We're back in the race. We're repaired.
That's what's up. And pace car down on the safety of pit road. Green flag flying once again, getting down to the nitty gritty. There you see Foskey able to pull out by about a car length, maybe 2 down on the bottom side. A little bit of connection issue for that purple and blue car. It's going to be Luke Underwood. Got it sorted out. I believe Hogue's already moved back up a couple of spots, but he's stuck down on that bottom side trying to get around the Jets car. Tried to give up there, give him just a little bit of a, not so much a shove, but a little bit of a nudge, just kind of letting him know that he's there. I don't know if I've ever seen a sideways TC3 bump, but I've definitely seen him going the right direction. They're still 2 by 2 throughout the field here. 15 cars strong in that main pack, and that third line going to start to come up. You really don't want to try and push the issue too hard with 15, 16 laps to go, but a lot of guys still trying to figure out who they can work with, who they work with the best, and how they can get up to the lead and potentially take that checkered flag, take the trophy. Oh, the Schrader car down into the bottom side. He gets turned left. He saves it, but unfortunately, Underwood does not. He's going to spin and fall through the field, and that sounded large. Caution flag going to fly once again for the 21 car. Oh, man, that thing is all sorts of tore up. We'll take a peek at it here at the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and find out exactly what went down. Oh, backed it up just a little bit too quick. Happens on live TV. Well, there we go. Get a good shot of the racing, the final time, that last time by, and you can see that high line just starting to kind of get a little momentum with just that one car, trying to use that side draft apiece, and unfortunately just getting into the corners. Bad bump, or coming out of the corners, I believe it was. There, right there is the bump. Gets him just a little bit sideways. Tough to bump in the corners there, but man, it's even tougher when you're up at speed like that. So Foskey holding on to the lead. And they are going to gather the field back up here.
Foskey's ended up having a great race up there. He's kind of staying out of trouble, and when somebody gets in front of him, he just gives him a bad bump out of the way.
Getting down to it, 100 laps. We're on the docket. We knocked out almost 90 of them. 14 laps to go. We'll get that restart with 12, maybe 12 laps or so to go here. A couple of drivers going to come down pit road. I think at that point, they're probably just going to be repairing damage. I don't think you want to put too much more fuel in if you've got enough to make it to the end of this thing. But maybe you do. A lot of times, if you're used to driving with a full tank of gas, if the setup is that loose, you might feel it if the tank's just a little bit lighter, especially with these Miatas, they're so much lighter than a cup car or a truck car. You can see the free pass car going on around. That is going to be, I believe that was the 17 of Don Ashton, getting one of his laps back. Currently 2 laps down, but still digging. 17 car, a little bit of differing fuel strategy, as he had to come down pit road under green earlier on in this one. Hasn't really been able to recover, but that 17 car been pretty quick. Don Ashton showing us that age is just a number here in the iRacing world, and got out there, led a bunch of laps, and still running here towards the end of this one. Pace car lights are off. We're lined up 2 by 2, going to get that green flag with 12, count them, a dozen laps to go.
Yeah, the field's pretty thin here, so see if we get a green flag run at the end.
Pace car's going to make that hard left-hand turn, grab that DoorDash order that he picked up. VidaneTV/DoorDash. Save $8 off your first 4 orders. Let them know VidaneTV sent you. Barney in the flag stand, he'll get his order after the race. He can't come down yet. He's got to wave the flag, letting the field know it's time to go for what could be the final restart of the evening. Foskey down to the bottom side, Bolliard up top. Great recovery for the 97 car. We saw him all sorts of tore up, pointing in the wrong direction. He is battling for the lead right now. High side starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. There's that 42 car from earlier, just really able to get up to about second place. Doesn't have enough momentum, though, to try and get around the leader. You can see the bottom side really able to kind of move forward. You saw Foskey try to drift up in front of that middle groove to try and cut off any momentum they were getting. Not quite able to get up in front, though. Still down on the bottom side, 11 laps to go. 2 by 2 up front. You can see 3 wide for a little bit further on back. Let the second half of the top 10, that middle line, trying to make some magic happen. Nothing quite there just yet. A lot of drivers have fallen off the pace. We noticed the 38 car, Wes Hogue, couple of laps down on pit road. Nope, still out on track, but had to get some repairs done to that 38 car after that incident, and no longer in the top 10. And that top 10, they're still bumper to bumper throughout the field. That 42 is really trying to make that high side work. Has a little bit of help in behind him. Hey, has a lot of help behind him. Here he comes. Foskey in the 3 car down in the bottom side. Jarrett Bullard in the high side. Still not sure why my voice is cracking. I'm almost 40 years old. It's the racing action here at Liberty Racing League. It's got to be. 10 laps to go. Jarrett Bullard holding on to the lead. Here comes that highlight once again, though. That 6 car in Eagles has a monster run. And here comes that Jets car once again. Really got to give a shout out to him. And I apologize for picking on him for starting dead last. He still should be in a Buffalo paint scheme, but that's just me. Doing everything he can up in the top 6, up into the top 5, and pushing on that high side. 9 laps to go here with this one. Foskey still on the bottom side. Jarrett Bolliard in the mix as well. Trying to get a dub, trying to get locked into the playoffs, trying to get the opportunity to get that championship belt provided by Liberty Racing League. There's been a couple of them. There's been a few of them in existence. There's been a handful of the Vidane Racing Super Speedway Championships belts out there as well. It's a cool piece of hardware. You bring it to Wendy's. You tell them the champ wants a junior bacon. Sometimes they'll give you a junior bacon. They'll probably make you pay for it, though. Coming to the stripe, 8 laps to go. 3 by 3 by 3. They're banging doors. They're banging bumpers. They're doing everything they can to get up towards the front. They can get there, but can they get around that 3 car? Now 8 laps to go here at the Virtual Miami Speedway. Foskey looking in the rear view. Foskey looking in the rear view mirror more than he's looking out the windshield, trying to make that Miata as wide as he can. Oh, trouble! Hard into the outside wall. Cody Neagle's going to tear that 6 car to pieces, and he's going to bring a couple of friends with him. There you can see the virtual sheet metal falling all over the place. Trader not having the finish that he was looking for in that 48 car, and that is a hell of a run to drive from shotgun on the field all the way up, battling it out for the lead here in the final closing laps of this one. So that's going to close everything down, bring the field back up. It's going to give these guys an opportunity to potentially get some fuel if they need it, maybe get some repairs done, again, if they need it. But the big thing is it's going to be able to get them refocused. They're going to be able to pull the belts tight, make sure the wheel's nice and tight, and get ready to rock and roll for a few laps. There you can see Schroeder down on pit road, going to get that thing as repaired as he can to try and get back out there, because there are still a few drivers that are a lap down, that are multiple laps down, that could potentially gain a handful of positions. But there you see, lights still on in the pace car. Foskey all by himself for the time being. Scott Thompson in the 75 car, P2. There you see Jeremy James in the P3, Alex Griffin, Cody Niegels, the top 5, Michael Ziegler, Mark Mann, Joseph Fogg, Joe Thompson, and Rick Sebring is going to be the top 10 as they run. David Rosenblum and Bob Leclerc in the 42 car, the only other drivers on the lead lap. And it looks like Bolliard in the 97 lost a lap. It looked big-time damage on the right front of that thing, so he was involved in that previous wreck. And we saw earlier on he was involved in another wreck where he had to use that quick repair early. So unfortunately going to end his night early. And speaking of nights getting ended early, Hogue, what are you doing on pit road, man? Is that thing not firing up? What are you doing?
No, man, that was I used my fast repair when the bullet Leclerc came through and took out the field for the 5th time. And then we barely missed that wreck. But with these cars, the way that they are, once you get them sideways, they're really hard to save once they're in that full tilt, especially on the banking, and there was just no saving. All I could do is lock up the tires, try to keep it out. But man, this has been one heck of a race. This is always my favorite race on the schedule for a reason. It's a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun out there, 3-4 wide for the lead.
Yeah, 100%. You and I talked before we came on the air here that this was on the schedule a couple of times last season. The first time it was a little bit of a poop show, but the second time, a whole lot more fun.
Yeah, this could be a lot better. The guys know it too, that sometimes when it's really easy, they make it hard. And it's just because these are really easy to drive, especially at this track. And unfortunately, some drivers drive over their heads because of that. These cars also aren't the nicest to bump draft with as well. But needless to say, it does take some discipline. You're seeing a lot of the cream rise to the top, a lot of big names out of this race, past champions out of this race. I think we're only down to about 10 cars left really in contention. So gonna be a little bit of a shootout here, a little bit of a sprint race, you could say.
Yeah,
looks like it's going to be
race car.
4 shootout here for the end, and we'll see if Foskey can bring it home.
Good to see that number 11 KFC car out there with no hood. That's always awesome to see.
I still can't believe I went all the way to Kentucky and the Colonel wasn't even in.
So sad, isn't it?
Nobody. Coming down to 3 and 4, these drivers know it is time to go. Going to get that restart with 4 laps to go. 11 cars currently on the lead lap. In short track racing, that tells me there's 11 drivers that can win this thing. I don't know what that means with Miatas. There's a couple of cars we've seen up in the top 5.
It means 12 cars are eligible to win. Roger Claire, 1 lap down, has a good chance.
Big time facts. As the pace car driver going to make that hard left-hand turn once again. We come underneath the flag man, Barney, letting him know it's time to go for what could be the final restart here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Great restart for the 3 car of Jason Foskey. He's got Scott Thompson up on the top side. He was top 3 in practice, top 5 in qualifying. Do not count out that 75 car in that middle groove.
Yeah, here they are. They're tightening back up again. Let's see if they ended up 2-3 wide here. You can go anywhere on this track. Big bump. Here comes the outside.
And it is full mode at this
freight
point.
Train.
Ooh, there's one of those little nasty bumps we've been seeing all night long. Aston Giffen not quite square on the back bumper of Scott Thompson, but he made it work. He's going to try and get down to the bottom side. Nothing there. Where the heck did Batman come from? That 04 car of Mark Mann making the high side work by himself. 3 laps to go at the virtual Homestead.
3 by 3 here in the back, and double file for the lead. Let's see how they go coming off turn 2 here. Accordion back up.
Oh no! Mark Mann getting sideways action. It looks like that was a 14 car.
Yeah.
Back into the fence. 3 laps to go. Caution. Flag gonna fly. And that's going to give us a green-white checkered restart here. Can't really do too many of these without having to come down pit road. Just looking at timing and scoring, these guys came down about 15 laps ago. We talked earlier on, we can make it 20, maybe 22 laps if you're really careful on a tank of fuel. So you're going to see a lot of drivers trying to save under this caution. Maybe you'll see a couple of guys try and come down and top off. You got to figure there's only 11 cars on the lead lap. What could it hurt, especially if the field comes down as well? So basically,
You okay over there, bud?
together. I'm trying. I don't know what the heck's going on tonight. It's my first day in Florida, I think, in like 6 months. No, because I was down here in December. I think I left.
This must be the pollen.
And it might be. You know, I left Connecticut, it was 6 degrees, and I get down here and it's like 65. I think my body's just trying to acclimate. I'm going to blame that. I don't know. I'm almost 40. I don't know why my voice is cracking. It's weird. Not a doctor. But in any sense, great racing action here. We're going to be able to check out the video on demand over on the YouTube page as well. We've been doing double duty here on a couple of Tuesday nights here, just testing some things out. VidaneTV, the Ocho, as we've been kind of jokingly calling it. Patrick Burns, the Bizzle, running the late models, the Oil Boys iLate Model National Series. They had their championship race this evening, and here with the Liberty Racing League as well. So you'll be able to check out all of the races on demand over on the YouTube page, just youtube.com/VidaneTV. Click that live tab and check it out. 670 some odd shows over the past 5 or 6 years that we've streamed live with iRacing and all sorts of different stuff. And we've got a lot of the shorts and the reels and real racing stuff that you'll be able to check out as we're looking to expand in a big way. Going to be looking at some real racing, looking at potentially some other sports and all sorts of other streaming goodies over on the VidaneTV. So be sure to keep up with all of our socials: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I think we're on Kick. We might be on Rumble. We're all over the place here at VidaneTV. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your dog. We're racing here on a Tuesday night. Going to get a late green-white checkered here, a little extra distance this evening. It looks like it's going to be a scheduled now of 102 laps here at Homestead, and getting really, really close to the fuel window here at this point. We really need to see those lights turned off this time by.
Yeah, I'm glad we get the pleasure of some extra laps in this series where it's been great racing tonight. We'll see. Hopefully we can get to the end here and have a green flag finish.
There they go. Lights off on the pace car. So field's going to bunch back up. They were already 2x2 because they want to get this thing in the books and move on to next week and get practice ready to rock and roll. So as they run right now, Scott Thompson down up on the top side, or just getting down the bottom side. Alex Griffin in the 99 up top. Jason Foskey, Cody Neagles, Jeremy James, the top 5. Michael Ziegler, Rick Seabrans, Joe Thompson, Joseph Fogg, Mark Mann, the top 10 as they run. And those top 10 drivers are the only 10 drivers on the lead laps. So like you said, Taylor, there's probably 12 drivers that can win this thing on a green-white checkered.
Absolutely. We still got 2 cars a lap down, and what I'm looking for here is to see who's going to be a good drafter. Who will settle for a second? Will anybody settle for a second, pushing their drafting partner to the win?
And a lot of times you'll see a 2 or a 3 or a 4 car team where they'll absolutely settle for second or third for their teammate. But we're missing a lot of the field. We're missing a lot of teammates. Do you work with one of your guys that you compete against? Do you try and push somebody you don't normally work with? And oh, by the way, there's hardly any laps left. Hard left turn for the safety car, down to the pit road. Green flag once again. And these Miatas going to scream on down the front straightaway. There's Neagles all the way up the tailpipe of that Coca-Cola car.
Yeah, here we go down into turn 1, but the bottom line's getting a little bit of a run. I think it's going to come down to which line has the most cars in it and is the tightest formed here. And, if anybody pulls out, but, here comes the bottom line. It's pretty tight down there. They're beating and banging for third spot down the backstretch, coming to 1 to go.
Thompson holding on to the lead, but here comes that Coca-Cola ride up in the middle groove, and they've got more cars in that middle lane down than the bottom. Nope, just kidding. There's a third line now led by Mark Mann going all the way around the high side, trying to make the magic happen up top, coming out of turn number 4, white flag in hand for Barney in the flag stand. 1 lap to go here at Homestead.
Here comes the side. Man, pushed by the bullet. Outside. For the lead in turn 1 and 2. Let's see if they can make a stretch here.
Side by side for the lead, 3 by 3 for the rest of the starting positions. You can see all of these drivers are jam-packed into each other. Coming into 3 and 4 for the final time, the Coca-Cola car out front. But here comes Markman on the high side. We've seen the high side work all night long. Big slide for the 04 car. He's going to lose a bunch of positions into the 42 car. Bottom side has the short way around the track. He's down and around into the stink rails down the bottom side of the track. 99 is going to win this race.
Alex Gibbons stole it. Wow. The top clear through the middle there, coming to the checkered, and he just drove through the middle.
Doing what was needed to be done to get himself a victory here at Homestead Miami Speedway in exciting fashion. How about that for the 99 car? He's going to come home with the dub. Jason Foskey going to finish in second. Well, we'll give timing and scoring a chance to cross the stripe here.
Yeah, I believe the 6 car got second there because the bottom all came together there, and Alex took the win, and the 6 was in second place of Cody Eagles, and Joe Thompson third place podium there.
So we'll see if we can't talk to the top 3 here, get hooked up with those drivers, and talk to the top 3, the podium finishers here tonight. And man, oh man, what a great race throughout the night. And these guys just putting on a show here at Liberty Racing League. They don't mess around. They want you to know that they're here to entertain the masses, get some dubs. And you're seeing right now, he's burning those tires off.
Yeah, we were treated to a great show tonight by the whole Liberty Racing League. And, there he is down at the bottom. And now here he is joining us, Cody.
Yes, sir.
Alex.
What's up?
Finished. Just drove through the middle and the seats kind of parted. Great win there.
Thank you. Fun race. Good race.
Yeah, started P20, able to come home with the victory, man. We'll give you an opportunity. Who's out there? Who's watching? Who gets you to and from these virtual racetracks?
I don't know if anybody's watching me tonight, but I gotta thank all my teammates over there at Data Motorsports.
How do you think the racing was tonight? It was kind of a lot of beat and banging, but it was still a lot of fun out there. What was it from your opinion?
I think I used my fast repair at lap like 45, and then I just kind of hunkered down and just tried to drive a clean race. And I mean, it was rough, real tight, but I mean, them cars are fun, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was all pretty good myself.
And Cody, you had a few incidents yourself there. How did you feel it there coming to the checker? Did you think you were going to have a chance there?
It was one of those races where you really don't know where you're going to finish, and I mean, the whole race, it kind of felt like a lottery race that anyone could win, and I didn't think I was really in much of a position to win. And Alex was in front of me, and I thought that middle line was the preferred groove. And if I can help him get a win, that's cool. If the C's part and I'm able to drag race with them, that's cool too. So happy to finish P2.
Yeah, it's almost exactly what happened there with what kind of said, but yeah, it definitely was a lottery race, and these things are a blast when we can get a long green flag run 3-4 wide, beat and banging like that.
Yeah, for sure, and I appreciate you guys in this league for just kind of taking everything lighthearted, and this seems like a pretty good group, and you guys are welcoming of all the new guys in here, so I appreciate the fun you guys have on the track, and some of these fun combos are really enjoyable, and I just like that nobody's taking it too serious, but at the same time, it really was a blast. I mean, hell, I had over 6 minutes of damage, and the cars are going so freaking slow, it just doesn't really affect the car too much as long as you don't break a wheel.
And we got our third place finisher here, I believe. Joe Thompson, are you there?
I got you.
Man, you want to talk about C's parting and entering turn 3. It looks like you're about P11, not even close. And, they all kind of just piled up and, literal C's parted. How did it feel from your point of view?
Yeah, I just kind of rode in the back and just kind of let the field take care of itself. And then that last restart there, I think I started eighth and got in the middle, and then they kind of separated, and something happened to the outside line, so I was able to just pop up and end up getting third out of it.
Yeah, they saw that police car and kind of cleared out of your way there, come to the checker.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of a field fielder this season. I'm not really running full time because of the weather. I've had a couple of off weeks from work, so I've been able to do the last 2 weeks.
Well, we appreciate it, and you showing up, and anytime you can, you're not a field fielder at all. You're always up here beating and banging for the lead. So, congratulations on that podium.
Yep, thank you guys.
Well,
Hell of a
Paul,
show here at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Another one in the books. And has Alex gotten himself a win so far this season, or did he just lock himself into the playoffs?
I believe he's locked in now.
Locking himself into the playoffs, giving himself an opportunity to get that championship belt. And Wes, we talked to you a little bit after that 38 car got parked down on pit road. Great race here tonight. A little bit different car combo. Where are we headed next week?
Good question. Let me check. I live here, brother. So next week after this, we are actually heading off into Talladega in the Gen 4 car. So we got a couple guys that are really excited about that. Known as Trailer Park Dude, Kevin West, that is his specialty, is the Gen 4s. He's not a specialty at Super Speedway Racing, though. The Gen 4 is a little bit different than the last time we ran Gen 4s. So seeing how this package is now in the in the draft, seeing how they suck up how it is the side drafting, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have 80 laps next Tuesday in those Gen 4s, and I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Hoping to see another big car count.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're circling back to Alex Giffen and talking about his win right there, and that's huge. He is 20th in points, which is the last place to get locked in on a win, and he's currently tied for 20th place. It's a tight battle still early in the season, but that win means everything to him. He doesn't have to really stress about getting in the playoffs as long as he stays in the top 20 in points, and he's got the win. That's the hard part. So we'll see how he handles the rest of the year, if he goes for a couple more wins or if he kind of plays it easy.
And for those that don't know, you have to be in the top 20. If you get a win, you still need to be in the top 20 at the end of the regular season of the 12 races to qualify for the playoffs. So if he has a win, but he is not in the top 20, that will disqualify him from the playoffs, and the next person in points will move up. So that's pretty big. Paul, I got to say thank you as well for streaming this, even though this is kind of unorthodox for us. You're literally 20 feet away from me right now. Hopefully I wasn't too loud and obnoxious on the stream, but I appreciate you doing this. Hooking things up even on the go and making this happen for us 2 weeks in a row. And hopefully we have you again here soon.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Always a pleasure to do business with the Liberty Racing League. And a quick shout out to Britt for cooking tacos. I got to play the tacos, so we need to get the heck off the air. We'll catch you on the flip side. And when we do,